To another video from me, Christopher DBG. This is NFL Fantasy. Let's see how we did during week 5. Let's see, we're a week coming on to week 6. I do apologise for not getting this out video sooner. I've just been feeling rough, to be honest. So let's see how we did, and let's see, could I keep the winning streak going? I'm counting my luck. So let's see. Hello, so we can see from the image I just won, and I'm going to say it, I've said it a lot, I've been incredibly lucky and fluky. People have not been scoring high against me, and I haven't been scoring particularly high, about the average for our league, I'd say, but enough to keep going. So I am won this 5-0, 93 to 113. Let's have a little bit of a roundup and see where it went okay and where I need to improve. So quarterbacks, Borough not scoring as much, but 16 points. I'm sort of accepting that as his floor. Maybe 15 as his floor, 16 anything but good. Well, Jacob Bessick, I'm probably butchering your name. Don't really expect much from them because they're Cleveland Browns. They're running offense. Alvin Kamara, 23 points. Could it be a thing to him to get back to RB1 status for the game? Yeah, it'd be great. If anyone gets Hitman again, probably not. Chubb, was he reflection on a running game? 25 points. Was he running back overall 2 or 3 at the moment? So he's fantastic. Mixon, not bad, 12. You sort of expect more. This was a mistake on my part. I didn't look at when I set it. I forgot to check. He was on Brian Robson was on a snap count. Might be better for next week. We'll see. AJ Brown at 6 points. Deebo Samuel, it's hard to tell. Sometimes he just explodes and he's amazing, but other times you're getting nothing. Well, not getting nothing, you're getting good floor, but you're not winning because of him more than anything. Yeah, AJ Brown, just not a good game. Moore, 2 points, not good either. Samuel, sort of a good base at the moment. You know, he's really my fill-in for when Hopkins comes back, where I'm fluttering between different ones. Well, tight ends, it's hard to tell who's going to be the tight end. One of it who's going to be targeted in Seattle in a moment. Another mistake by me. This is why I was really lucky. Because Schultz is coming off an injury, and I watched the fantasy handliners to sit or start video, and he was definitely on a sit out, and I should have got someone else. Williams, no one expected a Detroit shutout by New England, so fair play to him. But in reverse of that, did get Reynolds on the waiver. Thought he was a good play, and he got some fair good catches, so I was pleased with that. And Pierce, can he keep this up? He's having RB1 quality here. Run and the car, 17 points. That is more than what I'm happy with. Bucks, 8 points, and then 49ers, 15. Really good. On the bench, could have made a difference. Could have swapped tight ends for Hurst. And Justin Fields. Whoop. Couple more points on that. Yeah, would have made a big difference on that. Me being a numpty and not listening to where I need to be. Jacob Mars, 24 points. He is just the wide receiver 1 for New York. There's no one else really good enough to throw at. So should have put him in somewhere. but it is what it is. And that already looked is the bench of the week of players. So big error on my part. On Trump and Matthew and Dan, 165, a huge score and 93 points. Tough competition. Donald Trump and Matthew needed to win that. You got Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz? No, it's not Zach Ertz. Zach Wilson, 14 points, below average. But Henry coming in, Mahomes smashing it, Dobbins did nothing. Actually, Gibson is pretty much a no-go for Gibson now. They've gone to collaboration of Ryan Robson. Is the RB1 for that team. Saunders did nothing. Let's say he hits and then he disappears. So you're going to expect from Miles Sanders. Mike Williams, amazing, 23 points. Such a boom type of player. Chase, who should be booming, just not at the moment. Gabriel Davis. Wow, what a game. It was like the first couple of minutes I had a text from Matthew just going, Gabe's doing well, so's Chubb. So both scored pretty much very quickly and a good run. Hunter Fremfield, not really there. Pat, 3-point tight ends. Andrews smashing it. Phelan's, nothing much. Alan Lazar, doing well. If he gets targeted, he's getting there. Lamar Jackson, not doing really well. 13 points for what you're expecting, and Aaron Rodgers getting consistent at 16. Cowboys 22. They were all over the place. One of the best defenses at the moment for not allowing touchdowns. People do score against get plays on them, but scoring touchdowns they're not getting. Packers only 3 points. Could anything really have changed? I mean, you could put Zach in for Jimmy, but not really thinking about it. And on the other side, there was none of them popped off, or I would have came in and swapped really. So it is what it is. But good win. No 1 point in this. This is devastating when this happens. When you get 147 to 146, you get big scores and you still lose. Or they needed to win as well. But it's a good team. So let's go run it through. Kirk did great, 21 points. Murray didn't do more than what he needed to do, 16 points. Hines, only 1 point. This is just a write-off at the moment with runners. In Colts, Colts is just playing awful, aren't they, for fantasy purposes. McCaffrey hit again, really good. Jeff Wilson, great to see him for 49ers running around. Josh Jacobs, there's 2 weeks in a row he's getting RB1 status. He's really come into it. Jefferson doing great as well. Marcus Brown kicking off. Jalen Waddle, well, we know that Miami are suffering with their QBs at the moment. And Cooper, 20 points. 1 week is there, 1 week is not. That's all we expect from them at the moment. Travis Kelce, 33 points. He is just immense, isn't he? If you have him in your team, you're always going to be that sort of 15 points up on any given week, just from tight end position. Saka is doing well at 10 points. Like Evans, if he doesn't score, it's quite low point. He's still getting usage. Devon Smith, 18 points. Geno Smith, don't expect this, but he is definitely QB1 quality at the moment. And Jared Goff, 5 points, just not what you expect. Eagles, 3 points, not doing great in defense to be fair. And Saints doing 3 points. So, 1 point in it. Was there anyone that I'd really swap? Personally, I would have dropped Hines just because of Colts, even though I know Hines was the backup for Taylor and Taylor wasn't running. But Ron Stevenson is getting a lot of opportunities. 20 points that showed on there. I know Harrison come off with an injury as well. We also had new people in there as well. Bill's wide receiver is Bill's just throwing to anyone. Whoever's going to score is going to get the points over there. See Lamb. Did you swap him in anywhere? The scores say no. And this is another thing going on predicted scores. Go for your matchups, and that's what, Jonathan did really well on that. Just 1 point out. It could have just been that difference between Higby and Ertz. I wouldn't have known who to pick on that. But that's it. Everyone really did well. It's just, sometimes it happens. 1 point on big scores, unfortunately. Dak, speaking in close games again, got the wins, about the 3 points. 3 wins, 100s to 96. Josh Allen's did so well. Ryan Tannehill, not so well. Simple as that. Aaron Jones did not have a good game. Breece Hall had an amazing game. What a great find for Jets. He's a great player. Barkley didn't. It's weird when you go 19 points is not enough, but it's because of his big games you want more, but actually you need to be level-headed on what you're getting sometimes. Clive Edwards-Helaire, 6 points. You sort of expected more for that, to be honest, but it was a very tight game, but high scoring, so you'd feel that he would get involved more. T. Higgins came off injured, so down on that. Cooper Kupp, 24 points. He's just dominating again. Chris Godwin coming back, getting some plays. Tyreek Hill, obviously struggling with QB, but he's still finding the volume, so fair play. Joe Everett, 1 point in tight end, and Darren Waller, injuries and things like that. So tight end's not really matching there. Romeo Dobbs got something. Jerry Judy, not too bad. He's got a lower ceiling but more big playability, I think, than Denver. But the Broncos, they're playing bad. So that's 25 points. You're going, wow. And then next week it could be 0. So, and Teddy Bridgewater injured for Miami, who was second string quarterback, so going to the third string, which is going to be hard for Miami. On the bench, loads of points that could have made a difference. I think obviously is tight ends, wide receivers. The problem is would you put him in? Kenneth Walker, good finds. Chips had him on his bench since the start, with Penny injured, so it's going to be taking over. It's going to be interesting to see how they go, but Seahawks are not playing particularly well. But that's what it is there. Let's come along, 138 and 125. Big scores again. Jalen Hurts, 27 points. He's got that run ability. Yeah, enough Seth Wilson. You just killed Amazon Prime. That was probably the worst game I've ever watched. Ever watched. I think, I generally couldn't watch it properly. Such a bad game. Austin Eckler, 35 points. He is coming into it, isn't he? He's got upside, good floor, great upside because he's catching and running all the time. Devin Cook, good to see him back as well. James Robinson, it was just an awful game, wasn't it? So nothing really happened. Leonard Fournette, used, and more used. He was so well utilised all over the pitch and did incredibly well. Diggs, what do you expect from Diggs? You expect 24 points, and a lot of his backups were, apart from Davis, were not in existence, so it's just a Diggs all over the place. Cooks should be getting it, but the game wasn't. Just didn't throw it. It just wasn't a good game. Jared Wilson, only 5 points, not that great in the Jets. And QB only coming back. Darren Sutton, I think 16 was being optimistic for predicted. 12 points probably what you would have got. Hopkinson, big game, then disappears. Big game, disappears. That's what you expect from him. David Ayuk, 14 points being used. So see if it going forward could be interesting. DK Metcalf, it's coming back into it. They're doing really well. Christian Kirk, well, you want more, but the game wasn't there for anyone. So no one did well at Houston and Jackson that week. Hunt, 14 points. He was well involved in the run game. It was nice to see. Not for me, but being a Chubb, I wanted more people more on Chubb, but it's nice to see. Don't want Chubb breaking, do we? So Marcus Mariota, 17 points. Quite good for him, I expect. Expected sort of, expected around 14, 15, so not too bad. Bills 10 points and Jacksonville 6 points. Not much on there. Could there be any big differences? Well, David Montgomery coming back. It's hard to see how he was going to settle in, but I would have played him above Robinson any day. That's good. Yeah, I think he's got a better ceiling, better floor than Hopkinson, so I would have played that. But that's just winning by more, not really changing the outcome. The other side, I probably would have given up on Wilson by now. Pickett coming in. Trying to think. You'd expect Cooks to do better than the wide receivers that didn't. I mean, not very. I don't know. It's hard to do, but we all look at predictions and look at things, and no one's an expert. The Oriental Lovers, Tony, the opposite of me, having awful luck, unfortunately. 0-5, 96 points. Versus Chicago Football Guys, 1-12. So let's see. Herbert, 13 points. Expected more, but he's just not really getting in the groove, really. And Trevor Lawrence didn't really had any of that running upside. Ezekiel Elliott, I'm a Dallas fan. He's not being used very well, but they're winning. But they're winning by defense. So let's keep it for that. For a fan point of view, from a fantasy point of view, I don't know if it's time to let him go. Speaking of same as well with Harris, getting the volume, but nothing's really happening, is it? AJ Dillon getting the volume, but not really. He's getting like the 1 or 2 yards off, to hit the first down, but that's really it. Isn't getting much touchline, unfortunately. But Montgomery coming back is going to shut down his production. Johnson did really well, actually. I think, he's a stable wide receiver if you need. Pittman, you expect more, but Saints got to change the Colts. Drake London. Yeah, I don't think he's getting enough volume yet to be a startup, but obviously Taylor Lockett, Seattle was just throwing. Well, it was just a throwing back and forth game, wasn't it? It was a good game to watch. So a potential high scoring for fantasy as a fan of the team. Awful, nail biting stuff, but great for fantasy because everyone's getting touches. Well, 7 points. Didn't expect more. Kittle. Oh, you want him up higher, don't you? But come back when you're fully healthy. George Pickens is good target, good relationship. So let's see how that's going to go forward. Adams, all over the place, great until he decides he wants to push a cameraman over. So we'll see what's going to happen there. Could be suspension. Brilliant. Well done, Adams. Bad for him. Bad for Carr, who's my QB. We'll see how it goes. Tom Brady, 20 points. So predicted 20, got 20. Very rarely happens. And I think 20 was a bit high to predict, to be honest. Because he doesn't have the running upside, but he's just throwing bombs all over the place. He is consistent, good accuracy. Maybe you don't want to like the guy, whatever your opinion is, he's good for fantasy. Matthew Stafford, not so good for fantasy this week. Only 10 points. Colts, really good. It was, a non-scoring game, so it means good for defenses. The opposites there, 12 and 13. Benches, could anything have done anything different? Must start. I really like him. I would have obviously put him in instead of Herbert because of Montgomery coming back, but that's just winning by more. Carter, yeah, he could have started him by J. Dillon and Mark Boom because he bought him on the waivers. I would have definitely started him above Dillon, but I'll put 93. Yeah, it would have won him by putting Mark Boom in, but pleasure, foresight. So that's everything on the week. Sorry again for it being late. You probably tell my voice is still a bit croaky, but let's see how it all goes. Week 6, I'm predicting to lose. I think I will lose. My winning streak will be over. If I keep it, it'll be complete luck. Don't rate it this week, just my players and my team and matchups. But with the amount of wins I've got, I've almost, I'm in a nice position where that's okay, which is incredibly incredibly good place to be. And we'll get into that in the following week. But I'm still top of the table. We'll see what's going to happen. I'm not too sure. Well, I'm definitely going to lose, but it'll be interesting to see all the other games because there is some close games coming up. It's all about getting to the playoffs. If we're at the playoffs, anything can happen then. And at the moment, I'm playing my brother-in-law, but it's all a long way off. It's week 15. We're only in week 5. Calm down, boys. Calm down, girls. Calm down, everyone. Don't sell all your best players yet. Get some good trades in. Let us know what types of trades you've got planned or what you think to improve your team. But stay calm. It's only week 5. Got plenty of time. Best of luck to you. Hope you enjoy. Please like, subscribe, all of that jazz. And happy hobbying.